This is the homework. And I realized after I gave this to you that this does not come out to a pretty number, but that's okay. I divide by 8 on both sides. I get x equals, and I'm going to simplify the fraction. So this divided by 2, I would get 5 over 4. I plug that back in. 8 times 5 over 4 equals 10. Remember, 8 is 8 over 1, so that would get 40 over 4 equals 10, and 10 does equal 10. Now, some of you, because you'd rather do do decimals, at this point right here, you actually did 1.25, which is perfectly fine to do 1.25. It's just when you plug yours in, it is going to be 8 times 1.25 equals 10. And 1.25 times 8, that's 40. 16, that's 20. That's 8 plus 2 is 10. 2 decimal spots. Look at that. 10 equals 10. So either way, you would get either 1.25 or 5 over 4. Either one of those is the correct answer. Over here, yes, there are decimals, but decimals are okay. I would subtract, I forgot the line again. Subtract 1.5 from both sides. I'd get x equals. Now, both of these are negatives, so this answer is going to be negative. If I add, that's going to be a 0. So that's going to be 6. I'm going to check my work and make sure it works. So 6. Sorry, try that again. Negative 6, not positive 6, plus 1.5 equals negative 4.5. Okay, there are more negatives, so my answer is going to be negative. 6.0 minus 1.5. I borrow. That gets me 5, period. That gets me 4, so negative 4.5. So look at that. It works. So this is my answer. Negative 6 is my answer. On this one, it's a fraction. And again, I said if there's a fraction, multiply both sides by what's in the denominator. This cancels. I get x equals 12. Oh, I forgot the line like you guys like it. Okay, and then I check my work to make sure I did my work correctly. So I'm going to replace the x with 12. Over 4 equals 3. Sorry. All sorts of noise today, guys. That 3 was bad. 3 equals 3. So yes, that is the correct answer. Over here, I'm going to add 11 to both sides. I'm going to get x equals, there are more negatives than positives, so my answer is going to be negative 4. I check my answer. Negative 4 minus 11 equals negative 15. Both of them are negative, so you add and keep the sign. So hooray, my answer is negative 4. Okay, down here, again, if we don't like our fraction, we're going to multiply both sides. Oops, I forgot this again. Multiply both sides by 3. That cancels that out, so I'm left with something that is not a fraction. That's going to be 24. That's 54. I'm going to divide both sides by 2. X equals, hopefully you guys are all using calculators, 27. Then I'm going to plug that back in. 2 over 3 times 27 equals 18. Remember, that's over 1. Cross canceling. 3 goes into 27 9 times. So 18 equals 18. I did the correct work. So that is my answer. No, I don't know why it does that all the time. Okay. So this next one, same type of deal. We don't need to have this as a fraction, so we just multiply both sides by the 6. We get 5x equals 150. Then we divide both sides by 5. We get x equals 30. Then I check my work to make sure it's correct. 5/6 times 30 equals 25. Remember, 30 is 30 over 1. 6 goes into 30 5 times. So 25 equals 25. So x equals 30 is the correct answer. Okay, over here. I need to get rid of this part first. So the opposite of subtracting 8 is adding 8. So I have c over 9 equals 25. That's a fraction. We want to get rid of that denominator. So I multiply by 9 on both sides and I get c. That's 45. 18, that's 22. So we plug it back in and make sure it's okay. So 225 over 9 minus 8 equals 17. Let's check that out. 225 divided by 9 goes in 2 times 18. 4. That's 5. 45. Yep, that's it. So this is 25 minus 8. So 17 equals 17. So this is your answer. Okay, next one. We have an f this time. You can use whatever variable you want. I subtract 11 from both sides. 4f. That would get me 18. Is that right? Get me 18. This is going to come out as a fraction also. F equals 9 over 2. Okay. Why I have 2 fractions on here, I don't know. But I do. 4 times 9 over 2 plus 11 equals 29. Okay, this is over 1. Now, some of you may be having a hard time with me doing the cross canceling. If you don't, you would just do this. Okay, but some of you have a hard time with the cross canceling. So I will multiply straight across and get 36 over 2 plus 11 equals 29. 36 divided by 2 is 18. 29. 29 does equal 29. So we have the correct answer. Okay. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides. I get 13n equals 26. I divide by 13 on both sides, and I get n equals 2. Then I plug it back in to make sure I did the correct work. I would get 26 minus 9 equals 17. I would not do that. 17 equals 17. That is correct. The next one, I would keep forgetting. Add 14 to both sides. I get e over 5 equals 22. I would multiply both sides by 5 to get rid of that denominator. And I would have e equals 110. And I'd plug that back in. So 110 divided by 5 minus 14 equals 8. So 110 divided by 5, that would go in 2 times, that would be 10. That would go in 2 times, that would be 10. So 22 minus 14 equals 8. 22 minus 14, borrow, that's 8, equals 8. So yes, that is the correct answer. Okay, this one. Again, I would add 26 to both sides. I would get 4w equals, that's an 8, that's 108. I divide both sides by 4. 108 divided by 4. That would go in 2 times, get 8. 2, 28, that would be 7. So w equals 27. Then I would be 4 times 27 minus 26 equals 82. So 27 times 4 is 28, 108 minus 26. So 108 minus 26. I borrow. Oh, no, I don't need to borrow. Sorry about that. That would be 2. That would be 8. Look at that, 82. So that works. Okay, number 12. I would add 8 to both sides. 3n equals 12. Divide by 3 on both sides. Get n equals 4. I plug that back in. 3 times 4 minus 8 equals 4. 12 minus 8 equals 4. 4 does equal 4. So I have the right. So here, I add 3 to both sides. I get 2n equals 12. Divide by 2, and get n equals 6. Then I check my work to make sure I did it correctly. 2 times 6 minus 3 equals 9. 12 minus 3 equals 9. 9 equals 9. It works. So that's my answer. This one, I would add 4 to both sides. N over 5 equals 15. I want to get rid of that denominator, so I multiply both sides by 5. N equals, and that's going to be 75. So I'm going to plug that back in. 75 over 5 minus 4 equals 11. 75 divided by 5 goes in 1, 5, 20, 25, that goes in 5, so 15 minus 4, so that is 11 equals 11, so that is the correct answer. This one, subtract 1 from both sides, I get z over 2 equals 8. I multiply by the 2 because I want to get rid of that denominator, and I get z equals 16. I check my work to make sure it's correct. 16 divided by 2 plus 1, should it equal 9? 16 divided by 2 is 8. 9 equals 9, so my answer is 16. And this one, I'm going to subtract 16 from both sides. I am going to get 2y equals negative 6, because 16 has more negatives than 10. I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and I'm going to get y equals -3. Then I'm going to check my work and make sure it's correct. 2 times -3 plus 16, does that equal 10? -6 plus 16, that would be 10 equals 10. So yes, I did the correct thing. Okay, so here I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. Oops, sorry about that. I'm going to get 3n equals 10. I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides and get n equals 10 thirds. Yep, I have 3 answers that are fractions. So 3 times 10 over 3 plus 2 equals 12. So you could do this cancels with this, or for those of you that have a hard time with that, I can do 30 over 3 plus 2 equals 12. This is 10 plus 12 equals 12. So 12 equals 12, so that is the correct answer. Okay, here I'm going to add 8 to both sides of the equal sign. I get 4n equals 13. I'm just doing all sorts of fractions for you. Divide by 4 on both sides, n equals 13 over 4. Okay, so 4 times 13 over 4 minus 8 equals 5, right? Yeah. So this cancels with this. 13 minus 8 equals 5. 5 equals 5. It works. So 13 over 4 is my answer. Okay. Add 42 to both sides. 5v equals, that's a 5. So 115. Divide by 5 on both sides, and v equals 115 divided by 5. That goes in 2 times. That goes in 3 times, so 23. Then 5 times 23 minus 42, does that equal 73? So 23 times 5, it's 15, that's 10, 11, yes, 115 minus 42. So 115 minus 42, that gives me 3, that gives me 73. Look at that. They do work, so my answer is 23. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to add 13 to both sides. I get 3d equals 24. I divide by 3 on both sides, and I get d equals 8. Then 3 times 8 minus 13 equal, I was supposed to do that in red. That would be 24 minus 13. That would be 11 equals 11. It works, so D equals 8.